Hey YouTubers, Linda here. Someone asked me if I would share on YouTube what is coming for the end times, and I agreed to do that. I will share what I know, and I will mention things that I think. There are things that the Lord has shown me, and there are things that He has spoken to me. And of course, none of us know everything, and none of us really know the time frame for these, and that's what's frustrating about them. But here's what I know. Obviously, you know, what I see is for America because I'm American. I know that nuclear war is coming to America, and it will happen on American soil. I don't know which countries will attack us. I believe that we will be attacked in 3 or more cities at virtually the same time. And there are a number of reasons that I believe that. I have only had one vision of nuclear attack so far. Famine is coming to America, as hard as that is to believe. When you look outside and see McDonald's, sign shining down the road. Famine is coming. I have had more than one vision of famine, and I know numerous people who have had visions of the famine. I don't know when. I do know it's going to be very bad when it does come. There are a lot of people that, want to prepare for this and want to, stock up food and things like that. And I thought about all that too. And especially after you see it, you really, you worry about if your family's going to have things to eat and things like that. But here's the thing. When the famine hits America, the biggest danger won't be the famine. The biggest danger is going to be the lawlessness that is in the land. And the people who have food, it will be taken from them. Unless they have, a lot of weapons to protect it, the food that you have will be taken from you. What the Lord has told me is not to worry about stocking up food, but to store up His Word in your heart. And then if you have that, you will have everything that you need. Other people have been given visions of God providing food miraculously. And I believe this is what's going to happen for God's people. I believe that, yes, there will be a famine. And just like there were famines in the Bible, and just like, the Lord led Elijah from the brook Cherith into the land of famine to a widow, the least likely of all people to be able to feed him. And then the Lord miraculously provided through the widow, not only for Elijah, but for the widow and her son. So you don't need to worry about that. You just need to worry about your walk with God. As far as the nuclear war, there are many prophets and prophetesses who have seen over a number of decades an invasion on American soil coming on the East Coast and the West. And what the site that I found the visions on was called Red Dawn Invasion or something like that. Red Asia or I don't know, something. But those visions suggest that China and Russia are going to attack us. And these visions have been coming to people for like 100 years. And too many people in various parts of the country over too many decades, like 100 years apart, have seen the same thing. So when you see that in the prophetic, when you see a trend, you don't just see one person seeing something, but you see people seeing it over and over and over who don't know each other, who have no contact, even lifetimes apart. Then there's a good chance that probably something or some or all of the visions that they're seeing are going to come to pass or are true or wings. Many people have seen water shortages. I don't know about the water shortages. I've not been shown that at all. I do believe that there are plagues coming, but that is not something the Lord has shown me. It's just something I feel in my spirit real strong. And the Lord always judges wicked nations with war, famine, and disease. Always. He always has. And by putting wicked rulers over them and by allowing them to be taken into captivity. America can expect no less because America is totally unrepentant and in fact becomes more defiant every day. You watch things on the news or the headlines on the internet and just people are so defiant against God. They just, think He's not real and they don't have to serve Him. And, the lines are being drawn. the word that God gave me was the battle lines are being drawn and you have to choose sides. It's going to, the conflict between good and evil is going to intensify, and the Christians are going to become known as haters. We're going to become known as the outlaws, because the media is going to make us look like we hate people because we stand up for what's right. Now, when that happens, the people that are lukewarm, who don't really know God, are not going to have the courage to get on his side and say, yes, I'm a Christian. They're going to say, well, I'm not really a Christian, and they're going to go to the other side. Now, that's when the wheat and the tares are really going to come apart there, the sheep and the goats, because it's going to cost you something to say, yes, I'm a Christian, when that time comes, and that time's quickly approaching. You need to know what side you stand on. And the only thing you really need to worry about doing for the end times is to seek the face of the Lord and hide his word in your heart, because everything you need, you can get by his word. Everything you need. That's what he told me. He said, you have everything you need. This is all you need. You need my word. When that time comes, he said, that will get you anything else you need. And I said, okay, Lord. And he told me that this year. So, what I do know for sure is I know for sure the nuclear attacks. I know for sure the famine. I know for sure that Christians are going to become known as haters. Eventually the Bible will be illegal in America. It won't be legal to have a Bible here. So read the word now while you can, because the time's coming when you won't be able to, at least not legally. Those are the things that I know. And I think the fact that the Lord keeps showing me a lion in the spirit means that the Lord wants us to be bold and be courageous and be strong and stand up in this time, because if you're living in the end time, it's because he chose you to live in the end time. It's because he knows you have what it takes to live through the end time. And for whatever part of it that we're here, we need to do our part. We need to pray for the people that need prayer. We need to, intercede for the lost. I pray for the nation, but I don't have a lot of hope for the nation, honestly. Mostly I pray for my unsaved family members, and I pray for, people that are homeless and elderly people that live alone, that have no one to care for them, and, children that are being abused and things like that. That's what I spend my prayer time praying for most of the time. As long as we're here, we need to be praying. That's part of our job, and ministering to people. And God will take care of us when the time comes and these things start to really happen. And y'all, I don't know if it's 5 days, 5 months, 5 years. I don't know. He hasn't given me a time frame. There are people that believe they've seen time frames. I know that John Paul Jackson has a video on YouTube called The Perfect Storm, and he has seen the water shortages and some things like that. And he was shown, I think he was shown the vision in 2008, and I've not really followed his vision, so I can't tell you, what I think of his accuracy, because I don't know. But I believe he was given a 10-year time frame. So if you're familiar with him or whatever, you might want to watch that. But I read a lot of prophetic material and listen to a lot of prophetic things, but mainly I listen to what God is showing me and telling me. Because I believe that God does tell his people before he does something big. So anyway, that's what I know, and if I get more, I'll be happy to release it. The Lord has really moved me over to Blog Talk Radio for the most part. He had me start a blog talk show, and I did, and I didn't really know what format I was supposed to have, and so I just did it, however I thought, and the Lord sent me a word recently that the show is supposed to be more prophetic. So I'm going to be ministering more prophetically on that show in upcoming episodes. People who email me and have problems or things like that, if I pray for them and the Lord gives me a prophetic answer, I may incorporate that into the show. But the show is going to go more prophetic, if that helps. And so maybe, because it is, maybe the Lord's going to give me more insight into what's coming. Because, I wonder too, and I know God's going to take care of us, but there are a lot of people, in our families and amongst our friends that are not saved, and you are naturally concerned because of those things. So that's what I know. And you guys feel free to leave your comments if the Lord has told you something or shown you something. If anybody, knows anything they can add to this, please do, because there are a lot of people that are seeking information. And God bless y'all.